airplanes.
Cool.
And the people, I was the translator for the first week for a Mexican delegation,
Mm-hmm.
and the second week for a Peruvian delegation.
Mm-hmm.
And they really liked my job.
Good.
The minister is happy with me,
Good.
and I'm sure they will ask me to translate again.
Excellent. And what about those notes that you were supposed to translate? What happened with that?
I can't remember. There was one that they sent me, but it hasn't been. The budget hasn't been
Been approved
approved. The
yet.
quote
I see.
hasn't been approved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I have had other people have been asking me for
Good.
translations.
Good. Good.
Yeah. So yeah. Wow, wonderful.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah. So today, uh, what I how many sessions do we have?
We have 10 in total. So I think we've done 4 or 5.
So we still have about
We have around
5 or
5 left.
6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what I would like to do is um, I talked to you about that last time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fear of, because it usually happens. Not as much as that. I usually have once a year one delegation. That I had 2 together, so it was better yet. But to keep having this, because I know that I'm good at what I do, because I can speak Portuguese and Spanish, and I can
Mm-hmm.
read and write in Portuguese and Spanish. So just to keep having people, to have clients, customers. And yeah,
Okay. When you think about this fear, where do you feel it?
one great and wonderful thing that you have done is that whatever I feel here, I don't feel there anymore.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So feel that feeling in your throat. How strong is it? 0 to 10. 0 is the lowest, 10 is the highest.
8.
Can you make it higher?
Yeah.
What do you do to make it
I can
higher?
make 5. Just think about it and feel anxious.
What goes in your mind when you do that?
Fear.
Does it have a color?
Yes, black. Well, gray, dark gray.
Does it have a shape?
Like a cloud.
A texture?
It's not as thick as cotton. Just, when there is fog and you can walk through the fog, but it's thick, but you can walk through it.
Mm-hmm. Temperature?
Cold.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do, Lizzie, is put your feet flat on the ground, hands in your lap, sit up straight, breathe in, let it out with a sigh. One more time, breathe in, let out with a sigh. And first of all, I'd like you to do Lizzie, I'd like you to go to someplace good, someplace that makes you feel totally, totally relaxed. be with your granddaughters,
Okay.
anywhere, as long as you feel
Yeah.
totally and fully relaxed. And as you're feeling that feeling and putting yourself into it, notice how there's one point in your body where that feeling starts from before it spreads out all over. Go ahead and point to that place.
Repeat the last sentence, please.
As you're feeling this good feeling, I'd like you to notice that there's a certain spot in your body where that feeling begins before it starts to spread out all over. Go ahead and point to where that place is. Your solar plexus. Okay, perfect. And notice it has a color attached to it.
Texture.
Color or texture.
A color. Color is gold.
Okay. I'd like you to breathe in that gold energy. Just breathe it in. Remember, feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap. And breathe in that gold energy. Feel it going through your whole body. And as it does, it pushes out any unwanted feelings, anything less than positive. And as you breathe out, all those less than positive things just come pouring out, making more room for that good gold energy. And now your body's full of that good gold energy, so much so that it overflows out and creates this big force field around you of gold energy. Just give me a nod of your head. Okay. Good.
Good.
And now I'd like you to go to that feeling in your throat, that feeling of a 15, the anxiousness, the fear, the black, dark, gray cloud that's like a big, foggy, golden foggy. And go deep, deep down into the center energy of it. And when you get there, go even further, like through an eye of a needle, on the wings of an eagle, back through the years to the very first time, very first event, very first happening that has everything to do with this feeling that you're feeling in your throat. And first impression, are you indoors or outdoors?
Okay.
Are you indoors or outdoors when you go there?
Indoors.
Is it daytime or nighttime?
Daytime, morning.
Are you alone or with others?
I am with someone else, with another person.
What's going on there?
I'm with my ex-partner, and he used to bully me, not physically, but mentally, and put me down. And whatever I tried to do by myself to make money never worked. And it was a disaster, not a disaster, it was a failure.
Ask yourself if this is your younger self, if this is the first time you felt it, or if it's a familiar feeling.
It was a familiar feeling, yeah.
Ask her where she feels it.
How does she feel? She feels a sense of failure, of being powerless, completely powerless. in
And where does
in
she
the
feel
hands
it?
of someone else.
Where does she feel it in her body? Okay. How strong is it? 0 to 10.
10.
Ask her to notice if it has any color, shape, temperature, texture.
Again, it's dark gray, a cloud, not very thick.
Ask her to step inside of it. Go deep, deep down to the very core energy of it. And when she gets there, have her go even further, like through the eye of a needle, on the wings of an eagle, back through the ears, to the very first time, very first event, very first happening that has everything to do with this feeling. First impression, is it indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
First impression, daytime or nighttime?
Daytime, and the whole family was around.
How old are you there?
Sorry?
How old are you?
I think I was 1.
What's going on?
Um, I was, or less than 1, I was starting almost walking, and they used to put, in those days, there were not disposable babies nappies. There were cotton ones, and they used to put one around my waist and hold me for me to walk. And then um, my, I had a nanny, and my mama asked the nanny to do that, and she didn't hold me properly, and I fell down on the floor, face, and I hurt myself. And from that day on, they tell me that took me a while to start to walk because I was afraid of falling again.
What's the general emotion in that picture?
Uh, the first thing that came to my mind was panic.
And ask that little baby, Lizzie, if that's the first time she felt it, or if it's a familiar feeling.
No, I think it was before, but yeah.
Okay. Ask her to feel where she feels it.
Where?
Where in her body does she feel it?
Well, here.
In her throat.
Mm.
Ask her to say how strong it is, 0 to 10.
10, same color, same texture, like a cloud.
Have her go deep, deep down into the center energy of that gray, dark gray, foggy, cloud-like feeling that's in her throat, up her neck. When she gets there, have her go even further to the very first time, very first event, very first happening that has everything to do with this feeling that you're feeling right now. And first impression, is it daytime or nighttime?
It's very dark, and what came to me is that I wasn't born yet. I was inside my mom's womb.
Mm-hmm. What's going on?
There's a lot of anxiety.
Okay. Ask her if this is the very first time, if it's a familiar feeling.
When I ask, I see something very dark, like a dark cloud in front of me. So
What I want you to do is I want you to pull out that dark cloud. Just pull it out. Keep it. Don't throw it out, but pull it all out.
okay,
Okay, hold that in front of you. Notice what color it is now.
it's from dark. It's changing to gray.
Okay, notice it has a spin to it. Which way is it spinning?
Clockwise.
Take it by the two sides, make it be the opposite of what it was in every possible way, spinning it faster and faster, and double the speed, double the amplitude, double the magnitude, double the frequency. Keep doubling it over and over again till you know it can never go back the way it's before. It can only get better and better the way it is now. Till it takes on a life force of its own, just keeps growing bigger and bigger. And we know you got it for all the right reasons. Slam it right back into the picture.
Okay, it's pink now.
Slam it back into the picture.
Back.
Mm-hmm. Now go ahead, try bringing back that picture again and see what happens instead.
Where I used to see, I also saw that very black thing. I see a blue sky, and that very black thing I see very small inside me.
We're inside you.
Here.
Okay. Go ahead, pull it out.
Okay. Very easy. Very
Mm-hmm.
easy because it's very small.
Good.
Done.
Okay. Notice what color it is now.
Still black. It's very small, like this.
Okay, notice it has a spin to it. Which way is it spinning?
Always clockwise. So other way.
So make it the other way. That's right. You know. Spin it faster and faster and double the speed, double the amplitude, double the magnitude, double the frequency. Keep doubling it over and over again till you know it can never go back the way it's before. It can only get better and better the way it is now. And when it takes on a life force of its own and keeps growing bigger and bigger, go ahead, slam it right back in. And now try to
Okay.
bring it back
Done.
and see what happens instead.
Gone.
Gone. Okay. Go back to that little baby, that one that's in the uterus. What's going on there now?
The baby that was afraid of walking
Well,
didn't want to walk because she was afraid.
first the baby in the uterus. Remember?
Inside.
In the womb.
Inside. Yeah, in the womb.
Yeah. How's she doing?
We say in Portuguese. In Portuguese, we say útero. Yeah. Happy. Happy now.
Happy now. Okay. And now go back to that baby who was 1 year old who had difficulty walking. Try to bring that one back and see what happens instead.
She is sitting down, trying to stand up, and trying again.
Good. Excellent. And now go back to that young woman, the one whose husband always bullied her mentally and always failed at everything she tried to do at making money. and see what happens instead.
Very confident.
Good. Excellent. And now what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to go back in time, way, way back to before you were even in the womb, to before you were even conceived, when you were just that little tiny Lizzie spark in the sky. I want you to go tell that little Lizzie, number one, that no matter what happens in life, she will never, ever, 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 ever be alone, because you're going to be right there with her all the time, holding her tight in your heart. Number two, tell her that sometimes in life positive things happen, sometimes less than positive things happen, but all those less than positive things only happen to teach her a lesson. And once she gets the lesson, she can let go with experience. She doesn't need it anymore. And I want you to tell her all the things that she needs to know to navigate through life better, to maneuver through life more successfully, to be more happy and joyful in life. Just go ahead and tell her.
Should I tell her aloud or
Whichever you choose, it's up to you. It's
or
between
just
you, between you and her. If you want to share it, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's also fine.
I when I since I went to kindergarten to the university, my best friends, all the girls that were my best friends, they were all Jews or Jewish.
Jewish.
Jewish, yeah. And one thing that I always admired in them is the perseverance. They, whatever happened, if they didn't go well at school 1 month, the next month they would work hard, and then after graduation they would work hard, and some became doctors, others lawyers or whatever, and they would go, the doctors would go to have to be on duty on a Sunday from midnight to 7. They didn't care because they had a target. And I have always admired them. I don't know why I didn't follow their example.
Now you have time to go back and rectify that, right?
Yeah.
Just go back and tell them, tell her, tell that little bit spark Lizzie.
You have to follow the example of your girlfriends, Gelsa, Aide, Adassa, Miriam, Raquel, Sarah, and she's going to follow the example.
Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to see all that information go right into the DNA level, and then watch it go into that
Okay.
cell. Watch a cell be fertilized, and then it doubles into 2 cells with all that DNA doubling, ready to be expressed whenever necessary without even having to think about it, just like your hair grows without thinking, just like you breathe without thinking. So this information is just going to be so ingrained in her, she won't have to think about it. She'll just go ahead and do it, just like all those other Jewish girls. And watch it go into 4 cells, into 8 cells, 16 cells, 32 cells, 64 cells, so forth and so on, all the way through gestation. And then what I want you to do is I want you to go from birth up to your present timeline at the speed of thought, over and over again, watching how all those less than positive experiences hop on over to the positive side. And all the positive experiences just get stronger and stronger and better. And keep going around over and over again until there's nothing left on the less than positive side, because they've all popped over to the positive side.
Okay.
Okay. And now what I want you to do, Lizzie, is I want you to go 7 days into the future, which would bring us to around June 5th. Is that around right? June 5th,
Uh-huh.
2017. And close your eyes.
And what is
Step into her shoes. See the world through her eyes, hear the world through her ears, and feel the world through her feelings. And tell me what's going on over there.
um in 7 days time, exactly at this time, I believe we will be having a session, and I will be very happy telling you good news.
Good. And now go
Yeah.
1 week, 7 days into the future. And step into her, Lizzie of that time shoes. See the world through her eyes, hear the world through her ears, feel the world through her feelings. And what's going on over there?
I will be busy working in my profession, and very happy, and not only happy, very confident, knowing that it can happen again and again and again. If it was because if everybody thought in that way that I used to think, there would be no department stores, no IT companies, nothing.
That's true. That is
Yeah.
true. And now go 1 year, 1 month, 7 days into the future.
Well, in 1 year, 1 month, and 7 days into the future, I will be uh, financially very stable,
Good.
with brilliant health as I
Excellent.
have now, and yeah, and the most important, I will be accepting the fact, the reality that people can be happy, healthy, have longevity, and have a stable financial situation. That is not a
Mm-hmm.
drama. If it was like that, Donald Trump wouldn't be the president. So,
That's correct. Okay, go ahead and live out a week in her life so you can have it right now and know what it feels like.
now,
Right
right
now,
now,
step into her shoes and live out a week in her life.
well, right now I'm very motivated. When I finish here, I will start to send, because everywhere we went, we visited farms and um, milk plants and things like that, where people need translations.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the people we met, they gave me their cards. So I will send them emails saying, do you remember me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm
Good
available.
for
And
you.
we start doing some marketing.
Good for you. Excellent. Coming back to the
Yeah.
present day. In a moment, not yet, but a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5.
Present day.
And as I do, you can slowly wake yourself
Sorry.
up. In a moment, not yet, but a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And as I do, you can slowly really bring yourself back up to this new reality that you've created for yourself. Reality of without fear.
Your image is frozen and your voice is.
Hmm.
No, now it's came back.
Okay. Before we continue, I want you to try bringing back that feeling in your throat.
Okay. The nice one.
No, the other one, that dark gray one,
Oh,
and see what happens instead.
well, it can't stay here. It can't come anymore.
Okay,
Blocked.
good. Excellent. So in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And you can slowly bring yourself up to this new reality that you've created for yourself. Number one, knowing that all my messages to you and all your messages to your subconscious mind are just going to grow stronger and stronger and bigger and better with every breath you take and every beat of your heart. Number two, knowing that you did the work, you came out here, you deserve the reward, and it's yours to keep. Number three, knowing that for any problem that arises, your other than conscious mind will always come up with the three best solutions, that you can choose which one is the best for you to use, and you can return to being that awesome self that you were created to be. Number four, like a splash of cool water from an underground spring in a mountain, refreshing your face with every drop that touches it. Number five, ready to thrive, open your eyes at the rate and speed that you're ready to meet this new reality.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure.
You are great.
And I'm looking forward to hearing all the good
Wow.
things. Okay.
Okay. So we have our next session next week.
Okay. If I end
the 4th for you.
If I end up going to South Africa, then we might not be able to do it on the 4th. Okay. It might be only in not next week, not the week after, like in 3 Sundays. Okay.
So you let me know.
Yeah. I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Great.
you. If you go, have a safe trip.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.